We're off the mark. Gather round sovereigns. We're navigating our pineal glands with Meeks Kali and Tootie Odin, reclaiming our native lands. We're off the mark.
Hello, good evening, everybody, and Happy New Year. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. We hope you guys had a wonderful Christmas. I am Tootie O. With me, of course, as always, is Miss Meeks Kali here with Off the Mark. We are on our, I think, 7th episode. Thank you guys for hanging in there with us. We've taken a tiny bit of a hit once we withdrew ourselves from Instagram, which will be a whole nother episode, and we'll go ahead and we'll dive into that later in the future. We got a whole year of things already ready to go, and we're excited to share it with you guys. Miss Kali, how was your Christmas?
Oh, it was beautiful. Yeah, got some special time with the family. It was like very synchronistic and magical, and yeah, we got to
gorgeous, by the way.
That. You as well. Yeah, love. How was your Christmas?
It was great. It was perfect. I had the most
right.
perfect Christmas. My daughter had an amazing time, which is extremely important. The boys over in Washington got their first snow, so
wow,
I was excited for them over there. So yay, good for them.
Sweet.
Had a good holiday, and it's going to continue on into the new year. So
right.
I'm staying positive. I'm staying happy, and I hope everybody that's with us, congratulations, you guys made it. We're at the end of 2020. Look yourselves in the mirror and give yourself a big thumbs up and a big high five, because it wasn't easy for anybody, and we understand that. Lots of confusion, lots of we were just hit left and right with blow by blows of different things, and we literally had to run with the punches, it seems, right? So for this episode, we're going to do a year in review. We want to do our top few, maybe two to five things for each month, and some of them you guys probably don't remember. Some of them I didn't remember. Some of them you guys may not even have realized even happened. So let's see what happens. If there's anything that we do miss, after you guys like, share, and subscribe, of course, we'd love to hear from you guys as far as comments are concerned. Let us know what's been on your mind. Let us know what news story we missed that you want to talk about, because you know what, we have a whole year ahead of us that we can do this stuff with. So yeah, so let's get started. Miss Kali, I don't know how you want to do this.
Okay, well, we're going to take it month by month, and we're each going to share our like top one that we remember or feel was most like significant, or that we were most like personally impacted by, or you know, and then we like kind of touch on a couple like second, or you know, like close ones that almost made the cut, and just go month by month and recap it and see how it went. So let's paint the scene, right? So the year was 2020 and we were all ambitious AF because it's 2020. It's gonna be our year. We're manifesting, right? Like there's, you know, some concerns, but you know, we're going with it, right? So but I'll go ahead and share my top, although there were several. My top thing from January was Kobe passing in the helicopter crash. Us being in SoCal, like I feel like that was really prominent for us here. Like obviously he's admired, you know, nationwide, worldwide. But yeah, on let's see, when was it? January 26th, yeah. Kobe's helicopter crashed along with his daughter Gianna and 7 others that were in the helicopter. And when it happened, like LA mourned, you know, everybody had their Laker gear on, like we were representing. So it was just very interesting. It was like kind of like this initiation into the year where we were like all wearing our colors, like we were hit with trauma right from the beginning. And yeah, there was definitely other things. So what was your top pick for January?
That's a good one. The Kobe one, it actually, I think it hit a lot of people that way, nationwide, worldwide even.
Right.
But for us specifically, I remember being at church and hearing the news, and my sister telling me, I was actually telling a friend of mine the other day, dude, I was standing right there when I learned about Kobe. And it was almost like one of those historical, where were you when this happened moments.
Right.
You know? So, yeah, that's definitely number one for me as well. I think it's number one for a lot of people. That gave me nightmares for a little while, just, diving deep into maybe the last moments, and which is something that a lot of us retrospectively, thought about, I'm sure, myself for sure. That was a tough one. And we actually, I think a lot of us thought that was going to be the toughest thing that we were going to have to go through as a nation.
Right.
Isn't it weird?
We're like, shake it off, okay?
Yeah, right. For me,
now that's behind us.
I know. Well, for me, and not really, this one wasn't really one, but it was one that I definitely paid attention to, which actually brought us to where we are today with Off the Mark, but was on the 16th of January, the impeachment trial began for Donald Trump. So that, I kind of, you know me, I mean, Facebook knows me in hearings. For some reason, they're like the Oscars to me. I watch them live as much as possible. And, oh, hello, Kitty. And so I do remember keeping up to date. I don't remember if they were televised. I don't think they were. Otherwise, I probably I watched the Kavanaugh. I watched the Coney Barrett ones that just happened. All of the tech ones that happened. So as much as I can watch, I definitely do. I don't remember this being on TV, but I do definitely remember paying attention. He was eventually acquitted on the 5th of February. Again, something that I paid very close attention to and had to understand why he was acquitted. Because at the time I was still under the impression that this was a tyrannical, it still kind of is, but this was a tyrannical movement. And I was wrong. Let's put it that way. I was wrong. The impeachment trials were big for me that month.
Wow, I didn't realize that it was that recent, the switch.
Yeah, from the get-go.
Like we were through it, but like to reflect back that like, wow, that was it, right? Like what turn it's been since then. What a journey.
Right. The only other one I think I can mention, or that I do want to mention, is that on the 30th of January, which I didn't know, the coronavirus was declared a global pandemic. Right. I didn't know that. Did you know that?
I knew it actually was on the same, reported on the same newspaper as Kobe Bryant's death, that like on the side article, it had like, oh, it's growing,
big. You're absolutely right about that.
And so, we wanted to touch on that too, that officially COVID was considered, it emerged January 9th, and since is reported to have spread to 20 million people, accounting for 751,000 deaths as of now, as of this recording. That on the 30th, the WHO, World Health Organization, that we were in a national emergency. So that's when travel started shutting down. There was some different business. I believe like there was different travels from China and restrictions. So that, didn't help the whole impeachment movement of already Trump being considered racist and a fascist and stuff like that. So he was really criticized for that and had a lot of backlash. We also, since December, had the Australian wildfires going on that accounted for 47 million acres were burned, and it displaced thousands of people and killed 34 people. So we were going into this into the month and the year with a lot of tragedy. Another big thing that happened was Prince Harry and Meghan Markle quit the royal family.
That was a big one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a big one.
Right.
Yeah.
So they just so happened to succeed and step down as senior royals right before, the day before COVID like officially emerged. So and around that time where like my attention kind of was there was a ton of CEOs that were resigning right around that time. I don't have the list in front of me, but there was
Bob Iger was one. That was
right. All like the major corporations at the time were resigning at the same time. So we're like, where are they headed? Where's the party?
That's very, very. I want to. I wish we had that list, because I did want to bring that one up as well when that started happening and stuff. And I think it was. You're right. I think it was from the get-go.
And we also had the Ukraine plane went down, which like caused tensions with Iran for being blamed for the Ukraine plane. And then that's part of Trump's blame, or for the impeachment matter, was the Ukrainian matter. So that was like the first time where like Ukrainians started being kind of in the headlines of being an issue or concern with our our political, I don't know, stance or framework.
It had to do with aid not being sent to Ukraine, right? Or like
his handling of it. Yeah.
And people being killed. Yeah, I remember that as well. And I remember being upset about that because he's always been the anti-war president, and just it seemed like an unstable move for Mr. Anti-War. But yeah, I do remember that. Yeah.
Okay, so let's move on to February. So we're like, whew, that's a lot, but
yikes, that was 1 month. That's 1 month. February. Okay, mine's gonna be mine's pretty secular. I'm not, but it's a good one. For me, it was the Harvey Weinstein.
Right. Okay, cool.
That one was a big one. It was one of those big Hollywood stories. I don't know exactly how much of the nation even ever really cared, but in LA it was a big deal because the Me Too movement I take very seriously in many areas when it comes to telling the truth, and also being very sensitive to victims of harassment and rape. So that was a victory in my eyes, a big one, and it's one of those things where you have to question your own morality and decide, am I still going to be a fan? Because this man produced half of my favorite top 10 movies. He produced a lot of the Quentin Tarantino films, and I loves me some Tarantino.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it leaves you with this moral dilemma. It's like,
guilty pleasures.
It's crazy, right? So that was just one thing that I observed about that entire case. It's like, well, what do I do now? This guy's a pig. Do I still support the things I love, or do I, sit here and so it's just one of those things. And I haven't watched a Tarantino movie since, but that doesn't mean that they're still not my favorite. It's not. It's hard. It sucks. It really sucks because I can't imagine that 80% of people in Hollywood did not know that things like that were going on all these years in Hollywood. And I can't imagine how many people that we know in Hollywood that are mentally crushed and destroyed the same way anybody else would be because of things that were done to them, from childhood actors on up. And unfortunately, women specifically, and if you ask me, even worse, men or little boys. That just seems just straight evil. Just I don't know. For some reason, I mean, maybe it's the resilience that women have naturally. I don't know if that has something to do with it, and that on a personal level. But for me, just to even know that a structure like that exists where little boys are taken advantage of in that way, it crushes me. So he got what he deserved. I'm very happy for the conviction, as weird as that case was, because he walked in happy and healthy, and he walked out in a walker and 100 pounds less.
It took life from him. Those trials.
Maybe that's what it was. Maybe it's all maybe that's what it was, just physical karma hitting him. But yeah, so that was it for me.
I think he was confident when he went into it. But yeah, when he was very first accused, the Me Too movement was viral. Like, everybody was, finally coming forward with their stories, and like there wasn't that shame and, stigma around it. Like, it was kind of shocking how, I mean, like, we all know how common it is, but just to feel how many like people we personally know and have had similar experiences, and especially us being in SoCal and knowing actresses and stuff like that, or people in Hollywood and LA, they're, trying to go through the ropes of it. And, there'd been people that had spoken out before, like Rose McGowan and such, but this was the first time where like everybody had a story. And, whether specifically to Harvey or other people, bigwigs in Hollywood, or just in general with, just the general toxic masculinity or whatever that's, in the society.
Right. A lot of people actually went down after Harvey Weinstein.
Right.
Famous and not famous people. So this opened up an entire Pandora's box of sex trafficking, basically, that was undiscovered and only rumored for a lot of years. So yeah. This was a positive. This was a plus for us.
But it's a little ironic because like initially when he was first accused, there was that like big blow up where it was so prominent. But by the time that he was actually acquitted, or or not, sorry, acquitted, but like the verdict, he was convicted of